Great, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Okay, welcome everyone to the UC Global Health Institute Student Ambassador Info session. Thank you all for being here. We're going to go ahead and get started with a warm welcome from our director, Dr. Madhavi Dandu, and then we'll go ahead into our agenda. So take it away, Madhavi.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you all for being here. You'll get to meet some other folks, but I just want to thank everyone, Paolo, Max, as well as Kelly and Kimberly, who you'll get to meet in advance. So first, whatever happens with this ambassador program in terms of your interest and whether you decide to apply, I hope that regardless, you'll connect via social media and other ways with the UC Global Health Institute, because there will be opportunities throughout your education here in the UC system and beyond to stay connected with us. So why would you want to do that? Who are we? What are we doing? So the institute itself, it's written there, but I would just say that this is one of, in my experience of being in the UC system for most of the last 24 years, it's one of my favorite organizations, institutes, parts of the UC system. And why is that? Well, first, it's focused on global health. Global health, for all of you who are new to it, just in my mind, is really a focused piece of work or focused field of work looking at changing the systems, structures, and all the way to doing the work and the care and the research and education to improve health and really achieve health equity. And for us, we think about this really regardless of borders. So we do work in California, but we also work worldwide. Most issues, as you know, cross cultures, cross countries, cross every other kind of border that we have created. The other thing I really love is that the Institute is probably one of the places I've been in that is truly, truly, truly interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary. We have people working in the Institute, working with us from communities, from organizations outside the government, and people within the University of California who just work in every kind of field that you can imagine. Fields you might not even think of as related to health, well, you probably all would think of them as related to health, but which we didn't originally think about as related to health. Things like, economists, folks like economists, folks who focus on water quality, scientists that are really working at the margins of what people might think of as related to health. And really what's great is we all work together for the same outcome, health. And you might be thinking here about human health, but also actually we're lucky in the work extends to thinking about animal and planetary health or environmental health as well. So how can an institute be all of those things? It's hard, but one of the ways that we are able to do our work is with our education programs and actually our student ambassadors. Part of what global health opportunities come up really ends up being defined by your own interests and the things that you bring to the table. So I think that's probably my last favorite thing about the Institute is it's an organization that really really values lifelong learning. And so most of us spend all our time learning along with you. So I hope you'll consider connecting with the Institute, whether you decide to apply to the ambassador program or not.
Thank you so much, Madhavi. We're grateful to have you here with us today. Okay, so we're going to go into the agenda. So my name is Stephanie. I'm the communications specialist for UCGHI, and I have my awesome colleagues here with me, Paolo, Max, Kelly, and Kim. And we're going to go ahead and do a very brief overview of UCGHI, kind of beyond what Dr. Dandu just very eloquently shared with you all. We're going to kind of dive more into what our centers and our programs do. And then we'll give an overview of the Student Ambassador Program itself. And then you'll hear from two of our awesome alumni, and they'll share with you their experience in the program and kind of where they're at now. And then a bulk of the session is going to be a Q&A discussion, so we can open it up to you all so you can ask any questions you may have about the program or the application process. And in the meantime, you're welcome to drop your questions into the chat, and we will save them for the Q&A. And then also during the Q&A, you're also welcome to raise your hands or go off mute and ask any questions you may have. Awesome. Thank you, Madhavi. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to hand it over to Paolo, who's going to give you an overview of our centers and programs.
Yes, thank you, Stephanie. And so UCGHI is I'll say the word divided, but it really is connected in a way. But subdivided into different centers and programs. And so we have three main centers. We have the Center for Gender and Health Justice, the Center for Planetary Health, and the Center for Health Workforce Equity. And then we have Global Health Education, which isn't technically a center, but is a major part of UCGHI. And so all these different centers have their different, you could say, specialties or focuses. So the Center for Gender and Health Justice, as in the name, focuses on gender and health justice. One really interesting study that one of the co-directors of the center focuses on is the CHAT study for telehealth abortion. And it's a really great study that has seen a lot of ground. And then the Center for Planetary Health, one amazing program that's come out of it is the Latinxes in the Environment. It's a program that is UC wide and involves students across UCs to work on different projects for uh, Latinx communities related to the environment. And then finally, we have the Center for Health Workforce Equity, which is related to specifically the HEAL Initiative, which is a fellowship very focused on health equity, which is why it's the name, I suppose. And for global health education, there are a lot of different avenues, such as UCGHI goes through, such as UC Online. So there are many different classes that you could take that are global health related that UCGHI sort of, you could say, sponsors in a way.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Paolo. So we're going to discuss the program in a bit more detail. So we have a lot of different goals, kind of broken up into three arms. There's education and training, advocacy, and professional development. So as student ambassadors, we aim to educate ambassadors on global health issues, particularly with a focus on our centers that Paolo just described. So Center for Planetary Health, some webinars may include like One Health, environmental justice, water, equity and health. For Center for Gender and Health Justice, as Paolo mentioned, there's abortion access, there's sexual violence prevention on college campuses, LGBTQIA health and rights, and then our Center for Health Workforce Equity and some issues that may be covered include global mental health, Indigenous health, and training the next global health workforce to work in resource denied settings. So that's kind of some of the issues that will be covered in the program through webinars and different networking sessions. We also include DEI and global health through a social justice framework, including decolonizing global health and advancing racial equity, which you will see through discussions and events. We aim to actively acknowledge, identify, and advocate dismantling power structures that carry legacies of racism, imperialism, and colonialism in global health. Through collective dialogue, we try to have our webinars be very interactive in addition to some of our events. So that's kind of where you will see that. And then we also connect students with faculty and staff across the UC and at Charles Drew University campuses to expand your professional network. We amplify student voices through UCGHI social media platforms, in addition to sometimes news articles in our monthly newsletter, which if you're not already part of, you can find under the Get Involved tab on our website. There's always opportunities to get involved through there. So we definitely encourage you to sign up for it. And then lastly, we aim to create professional growth opportunities for student ambassadors, which we'll go more into depth in the next slide. So student ambassadors, by being in the program, they will promote the Institute and global health on your respective campuses. The program will be through the 2024 to 2025 academic year. So it's starting in October. So students who apply will be notified if you make it into the program or not in early to mid-October. And then the first orientation will be at the end of October. And then the program ends at the end of, well, mid-June, where we end with a student ambassador showcase, which we'll talk more about in a bit. But students will have to commit 1 to 2 hours per week to the program. You would have to participate in all monthly educational webinars and networking sessions. which are all virtual. We do understand you may have class during the time. We do pick times where historically students kind of are the most free, but obviously you might have work or class. So we do record them all, and you can watch it on your own time if you aren't able to make it live. However, everyone does have to complete a post-webinar survey. And for those who didn't attend it live, there will be a secret question in there where only if you watch the webinar, you will be able to know the answer. So everybody has to complete those to receive attendance. They're quick, but it is a requirement just so we can track your attendance. And then lastly, students will connect with diverse and dynamic students and leaders in global health across all the 10 UC campuses and Charles Drew University. But additionally, students will, you will be invited to participate in a variety of UCGHI opportunities. We have an internship opportunity program. It's optional, it's not required for this program, but you all will have access to it first before it's open to the public. And that is multiple local and global summer internships that are paid. We'll also be sharing student engagement opportunities with you all, again, are optional, but they're really cool opportunities sometimes through our centers where you can volunteer or do paid kind of work with them. Or even just with UCGHI by doing social media takeovers or contributing to our student blog, which is on our website. And then lastly, if we do have UCGHI virtual or in-person events, you all will have the option to kind of work with us in coordinating it and getting experience with event planning. So some additional benefits of the program are networking, mentoring, and possible letters of recommendation. To complete the program, you all would have to, in addition to attending all the webinars, whether it's for like live or the recording, you would also have to submit a final project and participate in the showcase at the end of the program. We'll have more details about the final project around winter, but it will include group work if you prefer, or you can work on a project by yourself. But we will share all of the information with you so you'll have ample time to work on it before it's due. And then if you do complete everything for the program, you would get a certificate of completion signed by our director, showing that you completed the program, and you would receive a $250 student stipend just to kind of compensate for the time that you took to be in the program. So to be eligible, you do have to be currently enrolled at a UC campus or at Charles Drew University. You must exhibit leadership, initiative, dependability, curiosity, and enthusiasm for global health. Demonstrate strong communication. This does include being responsive to email. I know everyone gets very busy. However, you do have to be responsive to receive credit for the program. And again, commit 1 to 2 hours on average per week to fulfill the requirements of the program. And additionally, students with disabilities, first-gen students, Black, Hispanic, American Indian, or Alaska Native students, LGBTQIA students, and other historically disadvantaged students are very strongly encouraged to apply to our program. And then finally, so if you have been in our program before and are familiar with the program and how it runs and with our institute, you are invited to apply for a student lead opportunity. We've always only had 1 or 2 leads, but this year it's going to look a little different. We're going to have 4. So there will be 2 that will work together in Southern California and 2 in Northern California. So if you were a previous ambassador, no matter what year your cohort was, you are welcome to apply. And it is an exciting and unique opportunity. You work closely with our team, researchers, and UCGHI's leaders while also strengthening your professional network. And some of the tasks you would be in charge of are holding a monthly office hour for other ambassadors in your geographic region to drop in if they have questions, because since you will be in direct communication with our team, you will kind of be a point person, like a liaison between kind of our leadership and the ambassadors. And then also, you'll be in charge of leading planning and implementation of at least 1 community building activity in your geographic region. In the past, there have been ambassadors who have started like a global health club on their campus, or who helped put on a global health event that was already happening or created one of their own. Or it could be even as simple as just a coffee date with each other so you can meet in person with some of the UCGHI leadership in your region that we'll introduce you to, or even just kind of attending a global health event and maybe doing a social media takeover on UCGHI's Instagram. So that's some examples. We're very flexible in kind of how it will look, but the lead ambassadors will be kind of coordinating a lot of that with their ambassadors in their region. Additionally, you would be providing administrative support. So just kind of helping us with some of our webinars, like monitoring the chat and kind of leading some of the Q&A discussions with the experts that we'll have that will present their work to you all. You would meet with myself and Max, our program analyst, twice a month virtually, just to kind of connect with us on what's going on next. And so you're up to speed on what's next for the program. And then you could also contribute to program curriculum development. So our curriculum, we try to make sure it's different every year and covers a very broad range of global health topics because global health is so multidisciplinary. There's so many different speakers and just topics to cover. So you can help contribute to that as we develop it. And of course, attend all the webinars and potentially assist us with coordinating the internship opportunities program. So we have all our internship sites generally, but you would just kind of, again, be the liaison between our leadership and the students. Yeah, so that's a bit more about the lead position. Here are some key dates just to keep on your radar. So the orientation will be at the end of October. Generally, students in the years we've been doing this program are generally the most free during lunchtime on Fridays or in the evening on Thursdays, which is why we picked these dates. This is kind of what it will look like. We'll do a professional development workshop as well. Last year, we had our director, Dr. Dandu, who you just met, teach students about global health education. So like what courses are relevant, certificates to look out for, how to kind of really build your resume. And then we had UCSF's hiring manager attend as well. And she taught really how to like tips for interviews, how to do your cover letter. So we'll have a kind of a different range of topics that we'll cover for our professional development workshop. And then also a note, the dates aren't in here because it's optional, but there will be potentially some in-person events you could go to. Like our centers do retreats or conferences every year. Our Center for Gender and Health Justice in, I believe, March or April. They are planning a conference retreat in Monterey, and it's going to be on the beach and very pretty. And they're actually paying for student ambassador travel to go. So that's one opportunity where you can all really meet each other in person, meet some of our leadership. And then there's been a lot of different like working groups or research projects that have started at those retreats. So you can really kind of be at the forefront of that. It's super exciting. In addition to potentially a UCGHI retreat in spring that we may have students attend as well. So those are some optional happenings that aren't on the key dates, but just for you to keep in mind. And with that, I'd love to introduce you all to Kim and Kelly. They have been with us for years as both student ambassadors and leads. We're so grateful for having them in our program and to kind of still have them in our network. So Kim and Kelly, if you can please introduce yourself, your position now, and the cohort years you were a student ambassador, and then we'll dive into some questions.
Yeah, I can start us off. Hi, everyone. My name is Kimberly. I'm a three-time student ambassador from 2021 to 2024 this past year. I graduated from UCLA with a major in microbiome and minor in global health. When I found out about the program, I was a master's student at Drew, CDU, doing my biomedical science program. And this ambassador program actually has had a big impact on my career goals. And now I'm currently pursuing my master's in public health at Drew as well, and gave me a lot of opportunities to even become a lead student liaison for CDU, which I can go into more after Kelly introduces herself a little more. But yeah, this program has had a big impact on me, and I'm excited to share more.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Kelly. I use she, her pronouns. I was a student ambassador from 2020 to 21, and then a lead student ambassador from 2021 to 2023. I also graduated from UCLA. I studied statistics and data science with a minor in digital humanities back in 2023. And then my current position, I actually got from the UC Global Health Institute indirectly. So similar to Kimberly, this program has had a big impact on my career goals, and I wouldn't be where I am today without it. But yeah, my current position, I am a project coordinator for the BRAVE study at UCLA, which stands for Building Community, Raising All Immigrant Voices for Health Equity. And very excited to share more about my experience with you all.
Awesome. Thank you both. They're also both being so humble. They're both amazing and have actually really helped shape the program into what it is now. So we definitely are so grateful for them. And they've helped with UCGHI events. And also, Kim, thank you for being here all the way from her hometown in Hawaii. So we're happy you're here. So the first question for both of you is, how did the Student Ambassador Program influence your career goals and professional networks?
Yeah, so I can go first. I'm gonna provide just like a quick background on myself really quick. So in undergrad, I was actually pre-med when I came into college. But then I took a public health course, and that was when I kind of became more interested in both public and global health, and when I w wanted to kind of delve deeper into the fields. And so I had a mentor who was actually a public health master's student, and she was how I learned about the Student Ambassador Program. She kind of directed me to the program. And so I read more about the program. And thankfully, it was within the time period of when applications were coming out. And so I saw that they had all these different opportunities and also monthly webinars. And again, I really wanted the opportunity to just learn more about the fields of public and global health and just to see what researchers and professionals in the field were doing. And so I applied and got in and was very excited. And yeah, I would say that this program definitely impacted my career goals and advancement so much because after joining, I just learned so much from those monthly webinars and just from talking to other ambassadors. So as Stephanie and others have mentioned, the webinars cover just a really wide range of topics from food equity to environmental health to sexual and reproductive health. And so I just really learned how interdisciplinary the fields of public and global health were. And so it's really what pushed me to get into the fields. And so it again helped me with my career advancement because so many of my positions were actually from the Student Ambassador Program and through UC Global Health Institute. And so in my undergrad, one of my internships, my research experience, and also my current position, I kind of found out from the UC Global Health Institute and the Ambassador Program. So for my internship, I helped with data cleaning and data analysis for the CHAT study that I believe Paulo mentioned earlier. It's the California Home Abortion by Telehealth study at UCSF. And so that I actually found out through the internship program in the Student Ambassador Program. And I applied and got the internship. My research experience, I actually helped research student experiences at the Women's Health Center at UCLA. And that research project was actually conceived by two student ambassadors, and they're the ones who actually helped bring it to life. And they received funding from the Center for Gender and Health Justice to bring that project to life. So again, very interconnected with this program and with the Institute. And then for my current job, which is the project coordinator for the BRAVE study, I actually found out about the position and was referred to it by someone at the UC Global Health Institute. So again, I can just really confidently say that I would not be where I am today without the Student Ambassador Program and the UC Global Health Institute. And also, like, I think the question was also asking about professional network. I still speak to ambassadors from my cohorts. The one I did the research studies with, we still speak very regularly. One of them is actually going to med school soon. And then I also keep in touch with people like Stephanie from the program. So definitely it's impacted my professional network and career so much.
Thank you, Kelly. Next, so yeah, the UCGHI program has really shaped my career goals as well, and I can confidently say it's really prepared me in the foundational skills in pursuing a career in public health. I learned about the UCGHI program. I believe it was through a listserv I was still on through my minor in global health at UCLA. When I read more about it, it aligned with my passions of being really passionate about health equity and health education. And I was able to really take away and learn from the speakers and in-person conferences on the many issues related to health disparities. And I became more interested in issues that I wasn't really aware of, such as farm workers' health, climate justice, and food security. And through the projects at the end of each ambassadorship, I was able to grow my, my grow my interest in these topics. For example, I had the opportunity to write a blog post and use the UCGHI platform to share my blog post on food insecurity. And it really developed my skills in writing and addressing and advocating for public health issues. So it really opened my eyes to seeing how interconnected these issues are. And on top of that, like Kelly mentioned, it really connected me to an incredible network of peers and professionals. And I'm just really grateful for this experience that I received to collaborate with many like-minded individuals. And now that I'm pursuing my master's in public health, it has given me the opportunity to lean on my professional networks that I've gained from this program and just advance my career path in research and public health research and community health. So yeah, really grateful for this experience. And also as a lead CDU student ambassador, I was able to bring more awareness to the CDU campus on global health and this program, and have it more of a interdisciplinary collaboration, which was, it's still growing, but I'm very excited to have spearheaded that collaboration with CDU.
Awesome. Thank you both. I think we'll do one more question so that way we have enough time for a Q&A after. So if you both can share one thing you would say to students who are considering applying to this position or this program.
Yeah, I can start this one. So for anyone applying, I would just say go for it. And be open to learning more about the different related topics to public health. Like I mentioned, it really gave me a broader perspective of like the social determinants of health, such as healthcare access and climate justice. And it really gives you the opportunity through the discussions and the speaker presentation to ask questions. So I really encourage you to ask questions during the discussions and really take that next step in broadening your network, because like Kelly has expressed and I have expressed, it really by networking and talking to people, it can really take you to the next step in your career goals and professional development. So yeah, I just apply for it, and I'm happy to put my email in the chat. If anyone has any questions, you can directly contact me as well.
Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, so I would say if I was going to say one thing to students considering applying is when you're in the program, don't be afraid to reach out for opportunities. This program just has so many different resources and just truly wants to help students. Again, this program is like being overseen by such amazing people that just want to see you advance your career and want to see you cultivate your interests. So definitely like do not be afraid to reach out. Do not be afraid to pitch your ideas. As I mentioned earlier with the research study that I was a part of, that was actually from a previous student ambassador who, was interested in a certain topic. And she actually reached out to leadership and got in touch with different professors at UCLA who helped her kind of put the project together and bring it to life. And so definitely like there's just a lot of flexibility and freedom in this program to kind of explore your interests. And if there's anything that like you want to explore further, if there's any projects that you want to bring to life, it's definitely something that it's an opportunity that you can again bring to life. People want you to be able to see it go through. And same with Kimberly. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll also put my email in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you both. And Kim and Kelly both had roles in our conference this year. Kelly presented a poster and Kim had a speaking role. So it's always awesome involving our students in our events that are happening. So with that, here's some of our students at a UCLA meetup and at the UC Global Health Day reception last year. With that, I'm going to open it up to questions. If you have questions for the UCGHI team or for Kim and Kelly, feel free to share it, and we're happy to answer them for you. Yes, Samantha.
Hi, I just had a quick question on kind of like the final project. I don't know if you guys have any like more examples of past projects or what that kind of looks like in terms of like as a research project. I know you mentioned group work, so if you could speak a little bit on that.
Let me pull up our student blog. I'll drop the link in the chat too. Our project last year, here's the link in the chat. Our project last year was students either developed a presentation, a blog post, or a social media post about a global health topic they were interested in that they would like to teach the rest of us about, which was really great. I will say that the project will change a bit this year. For those, sometimes like for the presentation, students worked together on them. This year, it's still a little in the air as we're planning our in-person event in spring, but we might have students complete a blog post or write an elevator pitch on a global health topic that you're interested in. So it is very hard to kind of in 2 minutes share, this is what's important and why you should care. So we'll teach kind of how to do that. But an example of a group project might be as we really strengthen our global health hubs on each campus, we might have our students kind of help us with a campus resource audit where you all work together to compile toolkits or kind of a presentation about all the different global health education and training programs on your campus, student clubs, events, research projects, and potentially present it to UCGHI and our leadership. So that's kind of some examples that may be on the docket for this year.
Thank you.
Looking in the chat, there will not be a Global Health Day. Yes, thank you, Max. Yes, so it's every other year. So our next one will likely be at UC Santa Barbara in 2026, but we will have some in-person kind of conference retreats from our centers, and that's still opportunities for us to see each other in person. And then I see Tracy asked, what's your favorite memory experience from your time in UCGHI? So I will punt that to Kelly and Kim to answer.
Yeah, I can go first. So definitely my most memorable experience, and I feel like I talk about this a lot, but it would definitely be UC Global Health Day in 2022 at UC Santa Cruz. That was actually the very first time I got to meet everyone in person because I did join the ambassador program in 2020 during the pandemic. And so everything had kind of just been online at that point. And UC Global Health Day was just I could say so much about it, but first, like, I feel like I just learned so much because there was just amazing speakers. We had the opportunity to also look at the students' research and research posters and ask questions about it. We also had mini sessions where we got to kind of be in different smaller groups with public health professionals and researchers, and they talked about their topics. And so that was just super interesting. And again, being able to meet all the ambassadors and the UCGHI network in person was just so special to me. I feel like we all clicked so fast and all bonded. We actually got to, when the Global Health Day wasn't happening, we all went to downtown Santa Cruz together. We all walked to the beach together. And it was just such an amazing experience. I feel like I talk about it so much. But yeah, I'll pass it off to Kim.
Yeah, on a similar vein, I think just the in-person meetups and the opportunity to collaborate even online with the different UC students and CDU students is very like a special opportunity and experience. My first in-person event was through the Center for Gender and Health Justice annual conference retreat, which Stephanie mentioned that there will be an opportunity for some ambassadors to take part of next year in Monterey. And the theme of the retreat was like abortion access and sexual violence prevention with a gender equity lens. And that just the opportunity to attend that event and to meet professors who are working on research on that was just very eye-opening and a very educational learning experience. So I would really say to take advantage of all the in-person events, UC Global Health Day, the retreats, and even some of the socials that the student leads will be spearheading in your local areas. And then also through working, I want to challenge everyone through their final projects to collaborate with different people in the program to complete your final projects, because I feel like that's a very great opportunity to work together and to just meet new people in your network. Yes, but yeah, I would say definitely the in-person opportunities.
Thank you both so much. I see a question from Jeffrey about outlined mentorship as part of the program. So the mentorship from the program generally is, as you mentioned, kind of reaching out to people you meet at our events, but also with the internship opportunity through the Center for Gender and Health Justice. And then there's also a summer work experience program, which is also a paid internship through Center for Planetary Health. We connect students with a faculty mentor, and that's a lot more of a kind of structured mentorship where they work with you on a research project and just getting really like hands-on experience in the field. So I think that's kind of where our main mentorship is. And just as Kelly and Kim mentioned too, there are just so many opportunities each year to get involved. So it really is kind of connecting with the faculty who are in charge of each initiative. But you can also just be very proactive and reach out to some of the folks you meet at our events and see if there's any opportunities to get involved with them. Because a lot of, as they mentioned, a lot of our leadership are just really, they love working with students and mentoring and just really kind of cultivating the next global health workforce. So they're always welcome. They always welcome mentees. And I see Lynn asked, how has participating in UCGHI changed your outlook on global health? Kelly and Kim, if you want to answer that one.
Yeah, I would say it just expanded my view a lot. I know we kind of mentioned this earlier, but with the webinars and through kind of all the different speakers we've been able to hear from, and also just being able to look at all the different research from students and faculty alike, I would just say you get to really see just how many different disciplines are involved in global health and how much goes into it. I feel like beforehand, I kind of just saw global health as like, I was thinking of it as like just epidemiology or, kind of more simple. I was thinking of it just like few disciplines. But like Stephanie said, you just have so many people working together. You have lawyers, you have economists, you just have so many people working together to bring justice and like health equity to the world. And I feel like that's just what kind of opened it up by like seeing the webinars and seeing all the people of different disciplines just coming together. And I'll pass it off to Kim.
Yeah, echoing off of Kelly again. Yeah, so it really opened my perspective to global health and at different conferences and retreats. UCGHI really makes it a point to bring in speakers globally too, to bring in that different perspectives. So I really learned more about the different social determinants of health and that how we're all interconnected and that experiences, although that may seem different, are all similar in some ways. And that we're all tackling this big systemic issues So yeah, just giving me a deeper level of understanding of global health and hearing from different perspectives really uh, was able to advance my understanding of global health.
Awesome. Thank you both. I know we have 5 minutes left. I'm going to try to power through some of these questions. And also thank you to Paolo and Max for answering some of them already in the chat. So I know Kyle asked, are there ways we can help? Where did it go? It went to the bottom of the chat. Are there ways we can help contribute education and outreach to our campus through this program? So the students who are admitted, we will connect you with the advisory council rep at your campus. So we kind of have virtual hubs on each campus with our leadership, and they may have opportunities to kind of get more involved on your campus and kind of raise awareness about UCGHI and global health. So it may vary depending on the campus, kind of depending on which department your respective leadership team member is in. But there's also, whenever we have kind of virtual webinars or events, we do have our ambassadors help kind of share it on social media and really amplify it on your campus. That way we can kind of get more students and more people kind of involved in our work. And yes, so I hope that kind of answers your question. Those are the kind of the direct ways to kind of help with outreach on your campus. I see some of these have been answered. The application process. So the application, let me put the link in the chat to our overview page, but you all would basically apply via this link. The whole application's in there. And if you make it to the end, there will be a question asking if you want to apply for the lead student ambassador position. So if you say yes, it'll take you to that application, but it's all embedded. And we do in our overview page already outline what the free response questions will be. So that way, if you want to pre-prepare it, you can definitely do that. But you would submit it, and then our team is going to review, and we will have decision letters going out kind of around the beginning of October. So that's what that would look like. The qualifications to enter, there are not any interviews unless you're applying to be a lead student ambassador, where the top students picked will do one interview and then reference checks. But to just be a regular student ambassador, there's no interviews. It really just depends on kind of how your free response questions, what they look like. We really love when you all kind of share about yourself and what your interests are. We like learn about your personality and what your passions are through those. And then your resume, which we look less at because we understand some of you might be incoming freshmen or really starting your career. So we don't really hold the resume too significantly because we know you are working to build it. So it really does depend on your essay responses. And I will say it is very hard. There's always so many amazing people out there, and we do only have 50 spots. So if you, for some reason, don't make it in this year, we do encourage you to apply again next year and just to stay in contact with us and attend some events and still be involved. Let's see. And I hope that answers your question, Lynn. If you don't make it into the program, you all are welcome to sign up for our listserv. So here is our monthly newsletter, and then a place where you can sign up for our listserv, because every month we send events, jobs, internships, and opportunities to get involved. So really just kind of keep an eye out for that, and then you can kind of stay engaged in that way as well. Is there a specific amount of ambassadors UCGHI aims for on each campus? So we usually try to have 5 per campus, but it does vary. Of course, last year was kind of an unprecedented year where we had a lot of freshmen who were so amazing and came with so much energy that were in our program. And there were a lot of applications from UCI and UCLA for some reason. So we did have a little more than 5 for each of those. And there were a little less for, I believe, UCSF and UC Berkeley, just because we had less applications from there. But we do really strive to have at least 5 on each campus. And I think we are at time. I'm going to put my email in the chat. So if there are any other questions that you can think of, or if we didn't answer your questions today, you are welcome to email me, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. The deadline for applications is coming up. It's on the 16th. or the 15th. So by midnight on Sunday, the 15th, try to get your applications in. And then the week of the 16th, we're going to start reviewing. So we appreciate you all being here and your interest in the program and in UCGHI, and have a wonderful weekend.